Hi everyone, it's Andy from Hobby Headquarters, and I have an exciting video for you today. I'm super excited about this because this just showed up a few minutes ago. This is the very first copy of the finalized version, now completely done, of the Andy's Hobby Headquarters 35th scale two-in-one kit, meaning two full kits. The M3 and the M3A1. And I'm going to say that again because you get both kits inside here. You don't build one or the other, you actually get both kits inside this box. I wanted to make it like a value pack to introduce 35th scale from my company to you guys, and we want to offer it at a really good price and get two full kits inside. So, as I said, this is the very first copy to roll off the line. They are being loaded up and they're done at the factory right now, and they'll be loading up on containers. They're going to be heading out all over the world any day now, so they should be arriving, I would imagine, in a couple of weeks, maybe 3 weeks here in the United States, and maybe a tiny bit longer for Europe, and even actually probably less for Asia since it's so close. But I have the very first one right here, and what we're going to do is going to take it over to the workbench. We're going to open it up and show you all of the parts that are on there. Now, this is available for pre-order on our website, andyshhq.com. So if you want to be on the list to get some of the first ones when they arrive, you can go ahead and order it on that. And of course, companies across the planet have pre-orders on these as well. So if you live in another country that we don't service, check them out. There's someone else who probably can get you this kit as well. So like I said, I'm very excited about this. I haven't actually even opened it. Now obviously I know what the parts look like because I had all the prototypes, but I haven't actually opened this box yet. I'm waiting till I actually get over there. So we'll all discover it at the same time. So, okay guys, well, I'm very excited, like I said. So let's get started. Okay, here we go, guys. Here is the Andy's Hobby Headquarters brand new M3 and M3A1. Remember, it's not an either or. You get both kits inside this big box right here, US Halftracks. So just a quick look at the box itself. You see two of the different ones. Here's the M3 in Sicily, and then an M3A1 in Germany of 45. So you can see what size box it is right here, because inside you're going to get the two full kits, which you can see how it's broken down in there. So what we do now is I'm going to open up all the bags, and then I'm going to show you the parts inside. Okay, we're going to start off, just randomly grab some sprues out of the box here. I start off with the P sprue, which is the tracks and the front wheels. And what I want to point out to you too is, so I've taken basically one whole kit, one of each sprue, or one for each model out of the bag right here. So everything I'm going to show you right now is going to be duplicated inside the kit. So for example, like this one right here, you're going to actually get 2 of these sprues per kit. So a total of 4 of these sprues will be inside. So everything I show you right now will be duplicated again for the other kit, and then at the very end I'll show you the sprues that differ between the A1 and then the regular just M3. So starting off, this is the tracks, like I said earlier, and you can see how the tracks are done. They are molded as 2 pieces that get glued together, and that way when you sandwich them together you can get all of the little the rollers inside there, and also you have the general shape already set up right there, so you're not dealing with little rubber bands or anything that can break later on, especially in this small scale. So very nice to put together, very easy to put together. And then I'll quickly show you the front tires and wheel, and we've got some slide molding up on top here. You can see all that kind of stuff. Those are primarily the lights. These are all the little rollers for the suspension parts for the track, and all of those pieces right there as we go down the line. And these are the pieces that kind of make up this bogie assembly inside there. And what I'll show you here is this is what's included for one kit, but remember this all gets doubled up. Next up we have the engine sprue. Because keep in mind too, this has a full engine inside, and the whole fighting compartment's inside there as well. So I guess you can call this a full interior kit. And you got the 2 different fan blades, the pulleys and the belts, some slide molding done right there. So a very detailed engine once it's done up. There's the engine block. head, and some of the other little parts for suspension, or actually for drivetrain, I should say. And there's the actual oil pan too. So there is your engine sprue. Next up we have this sprue. This is the Q sprue, and this has a lot of the extra accessories in here. So here are the M1 Garands. Now this is another sprue that you're going to double up on. You got the 30 cals right there, the cradles. That is half of the roller for the version that doesn't have the winch. Got some fuel cans, all kinds of other little accessories, and actually some of the seat cushions as well there. There we go, and that gets doubled up right there for this particular kit. Okay, next up we have the frame sprue. As you see it right here. I'll zoom in here. Very interesting shape for that frame. I've seen it obviously quite a bit because we built this kit in 16th scale as well. These are all the center supports for the frame to put the two sides together. You've got our muffler right there. There we go. Now we're going to move into the actual body. There's the rear of the vehicle. There's the floor. See the diamond plate on there. Got the armored sides, and then the rear, I'm going to call it fighting compartment, but the area where the crew would sit or where all the storage would be. There's the firewall and a few other little pieces on there as well. Next up we have, this is the side armor plate for the cab. So there you see that with all the detail in it, all the screw heads. Those are some of the parts for where the seats go in the back. There's part of the hood, and then the two big fuel canisters for the back. So there you go, there's that part. This piece right here makes up the some of the cargo parts for the back. So these are the fold down racks in the back for storage. This is the pedestal mount for the 50 cal if you don't produce the ring like on the later A1. I had to think about that. And a bunch of other little accessories for inside the cab. Now we have, there's part of the machine gun ring. And that's part of the rail that goes on the back, both of these pieces here, back of the vehicle. And these are some hoops that if you want to put a canvas cover in real life, that would be on there. This is part of the A1 machine gun ring. And then these are the stowage bins for the side of the vehicle. Next up, we have the 50 cal that is all bagged up, as you can see right here. And that's an option that you can either put it that way, or there also is a 50 cal open that you could put in, slide molded, so the barrel's hollowed out. And these are the like the parts of the hood and the sides. You got the dash in here, and the armor plate for the driver and co-driver. You got a few more suspension pieces on this sprue. Just like that. And the last sprue that both kits share is the G sprue here. Pioneer tools, you know, pickaxe, shovel, steering wheel. Here's some of the seats and some of the armor covers that for the floor of the rear of the vehicle. So actually, I misspoke. There are a couple of other sprues here that are going to get doubled up. Here are the clear parts. So this is the front windscreen. Two different versions for each one. So both sprues are inside there to do both kits. And then of course you have like the headlights and things inside. I left this in the bag just so I don't scratch it up. And the other thing that comes duplicated is the driver figure. So there will be two drivers inside the kit. Zoom on here, and he is literally a copy too of the driver figure that comes in my 16th scale. So he's in the same position, driving, pointing out kind of the window there. So that is also duplicated inside the kit. And then this sprue here, this is only a single one. Now what this has on here, this is all the pieces to build up the winch. Or on this side down here, this is the side to do the roller. So you choose either one, and usually the winch can be, you know, more on the A1, but this way you have just one sprue of this particular one. Now also inside we have a big sheet of decals, which I thought were actually already open, but take a second here, and you get lots of different options for markings inside the kit. Let you see those right there. So you've got all the different plates, names, all that kind of stuff on there. All very, very similar to the 16 scale one, as you can see here. So we have that. And also inside there is some copper wire, as well as some photo etch, and a little bit of chain for the one you actually do the winch version, because it's a metal cable for the winch, and then the last little part is a chain on it there. So that is included inside there as well. So now that you've seen all of the parts, remember all those parts I just showed you are duplicated because you get the second kit inside. And now what I'm going to do is go ahead and show you the instructions. Okay, one more thing I want to show you before we look at the instructions. I found the bag inside and completely forgot about this. This is the bag of the drive sprocket and the idler wheel. So this is enough parts to do both vehicles, and they kind of just stack up on there and get all built together. But these are already done, other than cutting off the little nub right there. That is also included inside the kit. Okay, now we've seen all the plastic parts for sure now on it. Okay, so let's jump into the instructions here now. So in the very first page, you got the little note from myself here, and then a breakdown of all the sprues with the number of each sprue inside the kit. So like I said, the one with the tracks, there's the 4 underneath there. Let's keep that in mind. And then we're going to jump right into the actual instructions of the frame. One thing I do want to point out is when you're looking at something like this up here, how it says 1, 2, 6, 7, 8, 9, and this one says 3, 4, 5, 10. This is an either or type situation. So if you are building any one of the versions 1, 2, 6, 7, 8, 9, which are all going to be shown in the back, you have to basically pick the version you want to build beforehand. Then you want to follow the instructions based on that, because it changes some of the parts, like in the engine here, just a little bit, but you want to keep an eye on that. And when we get to the back, I'll point out all that is. So like you see, this is profile 9. So that'll be the number 9, that if you choose to build that vehicle, okay, here's the 9 here. That's the one that you would be following as you go through it. So here we're going to line that back up again. There's your engine parts on top of your frame. And you can also see here with the different steps. This is step 6.1 and 6.2. What that means is there's a variation that you can also change in some of the other parts depending on how you're building it. This one has like the winch in it, so you have that winch motor, so you have to put that piece in. When you're building the other one with the roller, you would not put that in, so it calls it out. That's why the 6.1 and 6.2 are the same steps, just depending on which vehicle you're actually putting together. Okay, now we have the color profiles in the back here, and this is what I was telling you earlier about choosing the profile you want, and that is the vehicle that you will build inside the kit. We've got the markings call out based on the decal number, so 34 is for that star. Then also we have the body colors called out, things like rubber black for the tires and for the tracks, olive drab overall for it, khaki for the seats, things like that. So we've got a couple of M3A1s. We've got one here done up in North Africa. So this is, actually, pardon, Sicily. This is in Sicily, so it's got the desert yellow with the olive drab. But primarily, almost all of these are painted in the olive drab. And you've got the different versions. You can see without the turret ring up on top and with the turret ring, and then all the different types of stars that you can put on top here and other markings. So you can see, I think there's a total of 10. And then we've got a color call out for the engine itself and the dash where each one of the decals go. And then we've got the figure here with the color call outs on top of that too. So I think that's the last page. Yep, that's the last page. So there you go. There's a look at the instructions for the 2 full kits inside. Well, there you go, guys. There is a first look at the brand new 35th scale M3/M3A1, 2 full kits in 1 box from Andy's Hobby headquarters right there. As I said earlier, they are available for pre-order on our website, andyshhq.com, and of course, companies across the planet will have them for available for pre-order as well. This kit is selling very, very well. In fact, the first production is completely emptied out at the factory, so we're very happy about that. And they should be loading onto containers, probably, actually, I think even today maybe. But that means that they should be arriving around the world within the next 3 to 4 weeks, depending on where you live on the planet. So very excited to share this with you guys. And of course, I want to take this opportunity to thank you as always for watching. And please stay tuned because I have many more videos coming.